In today's Leeds news, Paixao update, Anton Stach speaks for the first time, Ramazani on Farke call out and transfer talk, and the goalkeeping latest. Morning folks, welcome back to The View. Tuesday the 27th of July with your Leeds United news. Leeds are expected to be in action today. There are a lot of people asking if we have any updates on the behind closed doors friendly. Leeds are expected to kick off at 4 p.m. German time today. That's 3 p.m. UK time. And the game is likely to be streamed, or at least highlights of it will be shown once the game has concluded. Leeds are not allowed to broadcast the game live for who knows what reasons, and there won't be any updates on the game either for the exact same reason. Again, no one really knows, but there you go. So yeah, if there is a live stream, we will do a watch along over on Big Up. It'll be a late call on that one until we get information around the game. But our man on the ground, Timo Hildebrenner, has been watching training and has been giving us some updates on that. So we'll speak to Timo at some point over the course of the week, but he's given us the information on the game as well. So he's heading down to watch that. We'll talk to him later, so we'll see how that one goes. But there is a bit of news floating around today. More updates again as normal. We are getting into what will become likely the quieter part of the transfer window. Leeds zoning in on their last few targets, and we'll start off with the Igor Paixao update on where is everything with this situation today. Leeds are not being mentioned currently in the Igor Paixao situation, and at present Feyenoord and Marseille are sitting down to negotiate their differences on the deal. Both parties met last night for discussions, and those discussions are expected to move into today as well. As it stands, the latest coming out of France today is that these discussions could be crucial, and this could be a decisive day for Marseille in this situation. Marseille are set to have a €28 million offer on the table, which is different from the $30 million agreement we heard 2 days ago. Paixao himself is said to be happy with a move to Leeds United or to Marseille, so he's not a factor in this equation right now. Marseille are also in the process of trying to conclude a deal for another winger, and that is Timothy Weah, who Leeds were linked with a few weeks back from Juventus. That's a loan move and will be a far cheaper deal for Marseille to get done, and there is still talk that Marseille's finances might be the issue in this deal for Paixao. Voteball International in the Netherlands, that's not in Sweden by the way, they say that there is still no agreement between the two clubs at this point, and the local media from Leeds side have had their say on it as well. Graham Smith in the YEP says that Leeds still have some hope over this situation and are still very much in the mix. Baron Cross at The Athletic says that Leeds have other targets in this position should they not get Paixao, and those targets are said to be of a similar level to Paixao. Now we'll see how this goes over the course of today. If it is crunch talks, yesterday was supposed to be crunch talks. If today is also crunch talks, we'll see how close they are getting to a deal. And if it doesn't get done, then maybe Leeds step back in here. But right now, it is very much between those two parties to try and trash out a deal. If they can't, then maybe Leeds' offer that they put towards Feyenoord then comes into play. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll let you know, and if we have any updates over the course of the day, we'll let you know on that as well. Let's move on. Let's talk about Leeds' brand new signing and a new shiny toy in Leeds' ever increasing midfield. As expected, Anton Stach has now completed his move to Leeds United for a fee reported to be in and around €20 million. That is about 17.5 million pounds. Stach becomes Leeds' sixth signing of the summer window after completing his medical, and then he flew out to join his new teammates in Germany. Stach has signed a 4-year contract at the club and is a very, very solid addition into Leeds United's squad. Only a couple of days after they confirmed the signing of Sean Longstaff as well. Graham Smith says that Leeds aren't done in the transfer market, and Leeds still are in the market for 3 starting players for next season. They are a left winger, a number 9 and a goalkeeper. The lack of a number 10 talk suggests that the 4-3-3 system we saw at the weekend against Manchester United may very well be the direction that Leeds United decide to go, and the more creative players being brought in on the wings, that might actually play into Larry Ramazani's hands as well, who we'll talk about in a few minutes. Stach spoke to LUTV on his signing and said the following. First of all, I'm feeling really good. I'm excited to join such a good team, such a good Premier League team, and I'm looking forward to the next season. My style of play, I would say I am an aggressive player. I'm good in duels. I'm good at anticipating passes from opponents, and that will be good in the Premier League. Now we will see. I will try my best. Stach pointed out the impact that seeing the Leeds United parade had on him at the end of last season, and is really excited about joining a club where the city, the fans and the club are all so well connected. Stach also spoke about the influence that Daniel Farke had on getting this deal done as well, after speaking to the manager at length several times, and said that he was convinced that this was the right place for the next step in his career. Johnny Cooper has shared the latest set of statistics you'll see on screen now that show how Stach ranked in the Bundesliga for interceptions, tackles, possessions won and duels. On interceptions, he made 120 last season in the Bundesliga, and that was first in the Bundesliga. Tackles, he made 142, fourth best in the Bundesliga, and possession, he won back 393 times, the third best in the Bundesliga. And on duels, he won 381, the fourth best in the league. Now, to put that in context, Hoffenheim finished 15th in the Bundesliga last season, just above the relegation zone. So to clock up that level of statistics, especially from a defensive perspective, bodes very well for Leeds next season, especially in a side that finished so low down the table. So yeah, really good signing for Leeds United at this point. And we'll see how he gets on. As we say with all these signings, it's great getting them in. We'll see them in friendlies, but until we start seeing people play regularly in games in the league, we can't really make a judgment on it just yet. But at the moment, the defensive reinforcements and the defensive-minded reinforcements in midfield seem to be very sensible and very good for Leeds, and hopefully they'll have a massive impact next season. Let's move on and talk about largely Ramazani and the fallout from the Farke call-out last season. Last year, Daniel Farke was quizzed on his lack of use of largely Ramazani after Ramazani had been on fire during the early parts of the season before an injury put him on the shelf, and then he just couldn't get back into the side, who had been doing incredibly well at that point. Farke was said at the time to not be impressed with Ramazani's effort in duels and the more physical side of the game, and that led to transfer speculation around the player and a possible exit this summer. But Ramazani appears to have other ideas, and speaking on last season, he doesn't seem ready to walk away from Leeds United at this point, and that may be the bit of steel that Daniel Farke is looking for in the player. Ramazani says that he's matured an awful lot since that moment of public criticism and has increased his levels since that moment. And Farke wants Ramazani to step up, and it appears, at least right now, that Ramazani is attempting to do that. On the struggles of last season, Ramazani spoke to Isaac Johnson in Leeds Live and said the following: I think it was a big learning point. I've matured a lot ever since then, and I've learned a lot. Asked about the new incoming players and competition and the possibility of an exit for him this summer, Ramazani said the following: No, I think it's great to have some competition in the team, and we just push every single player, whether it's a winger, a striker, no matter what position, we just play. We'll just push each other, and I'll have to prove myself and see where it goes. Ramazani finished off by saying that he feels motivated and excited for next season and wants to express his talents on the pitch and show everyone what he can do. His last line on the team being ready for the Premier League, Ramazani said, "More than ready. We're not here to joke." I love the attitude of the player. I love what he has been saying. The key line on this for me is that he had to prove himself again this season, and he won't be the only player that'll have to do that. Every single member of this Leeds United squad will have to prove themselves all over again going into next season, playing at the top level. It's great showing you can do it in the Championship. Now they all have to show they can do it in the Premier League. So more competition for more places in that side is always a good thing. I know a lot of people are worried about what does this mean for Tanaka and Ampadu, and I keep saying the same thing. The more competition we've got in every single position, that pushes every single player on to be better and at their best every single week. And we need that in this team, especially next season when, again, we're still one of the favourites to go down automatically next season. Let's move on to the final story of the day, and this is the goalkeeping latest. And we know that Leeds are actively looking for a new number one. But as has been pointed out, Leeds appear to be willing to wait till later in the transfer window to get the right person in, as they believe that the integration time for a goalkeeper is far less than that of an outfield player. And again, it's a point that I would agree on there. Lucas Perry and Royal Antwerp goalkeepers Senny Lammens appear to be the top candidates on Leeds' shortlist. Leeds are said to have emerged as serious candidates for the signing of Manchester United target Senny Lammens. Both sides want a new number one this summer, and Leeds have been told that Perry at Lyon is becoming an increasingly difficult deal to get over the line. According to reports in Belgian media, they say that both sides have expressed their interest in Lammens, and Het Laatste Nieuws says that there is concrete interest from Manchester United in the Royal Antwerp shot stopper, but Leeds' entry into the negotiations has complicated the situation for them, and Leeds could move for the 6'4" goalkeeper, who will cost an estimated €15 million to €20 million, so in and around the £17 million ballpark. The keeper's position and the number 9 seem to be Leeds' final moves and could come very late in the window, so we should expect a period of quiet after Anton Stach has come out. We need to see what the situation with Igor Paixao is before Leeds then move on to maybe other targets there. But you're looking at 3 more moves, and they could come very late in the window, so don't be surprised if there's a gap of a week or two of silence at this point. But it is very important with these 3 positions that Leeds get them right and don't rush in. There are a lot of people watching this video that will want Leeds to be fast in this. Speed will be a factor, but for me personally, I think getting this right over going for the wrong person quickly and panicking is vitally important for Leeds. These 3 positions will add to that defensive steel that Leeds have put in. They've put a side in that don't want to concede goals. Getting the 2 attacking positions right for scoring goals will be vital, and they can't afford to get that one wrong. Same at the back with the goalkeeper. That needs to be the right character, the right person for that position. Leeds can't gamble with that and get it wrong. So these are the pressure signings for me at this point. Getting these 3 right, goalkeeper, 9 and a left winger, will definitely dictate how we do this season. So look, I'm still excited about this, a bit nervous now getting to this stage of the window and these kind of deals, because you do know the players Leeds are after in these positions, other clubs will have firm interest as well. But also interesting to see who the other players who are of similar level to Igor Paixao might be as well if we don't get that one over the line. It's not the end of the world if we don't get Paixao. It was always going to be a very difficult deal to get done, as was Anton Stach, but we got that one done. So you never know. But yeah, I suppose regulate expectations on Paixao for now. It looks very much likely to be in Marseille's favour. Could swing back Leeds' way depending on how today goes. And we'll let you know later on. Keep an eye on the posts and on X and Blue Sky for updates on whether we do a live stream today on the Leeds behind closed doors. Friendly, should it be live streamed at some point, we'll let you know. And enjoy the rest of your day. The podcast is out tomorrow night, and I'm back tomorrow morning for more Leeds news. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. See ya. Bye.